Hello beautiful plant people, welcome back to Rooting Mindfully. My name is Ayana, and today we are going to talk about how you prevent, control, eliminate fungus gnats, and the method that I use to eliminate fungus gnats from my collection altogether. So what is a fungus gnat? A fungus gnat is a tiny black bug that has a great resemblance to a mosquito. But these bugs can be very detrimental and very annoying to your plant collection and you if you leave them unchecked. So first, I like to get to know my pests. So by learning the pest life cycle, you can go ahead and use their life cycle against them to try to eliminate them from your plant collection altogether. So in the life cycle of a fungus gnat, there are 4 stages. There's the eggs, the larvae, the pupae, and the adult. And with the eggs, stage of an egg is 4 to 6 days when they are laid in the soil. Then you move on to the larvae, which lasts 2 weeks. And in this time, the fungus gnat grows rapidly, and this is because they're eating the organic matter that is left in your soil. The pupae phase lasts 3 to 4 days, and this is when the fungus gnats are still hidden in the soil, so you may still not be able to see them. But then when they move to the adult phase, which typically lasts a week, this is when they're just buzzing all around, flying in your face, flying up your nose, and being really annoying. And with this adult phase, you really have to get the adults because then they can turn around and lay about 300 eggs right back into your soil. And so that is when you see like the cycle viciously continues. As well as the adults potentially carry diseases that can also cause blight and leaf spots and other things on your plants. So you really want to make sure that you get the whole entire life cycle of the fungus gnat, so that way you can prevent them from doing any type of damage to your plant collection. So fungus gnats like damp and moist soil, especially soils that are more rich in peat moss, like you would see in like a Miracle-Gro base soil. So that's why maybe some of you have more fungus gnats in your collection because you're using Miracle-Gro. So you just want to pay attention to the type of soils that you're using, because if they're rich in peat, it's going to hold more moisture when you water your plant collection, and then that might cause you to have more fungus gnats. What do fungus gnats eat? Fungus gnats eat organic decomposing matter that is in the soil, and they also eat a lot of fungal growths that are in the soil. And then once they don't have any decaying matter or fungal growth, they will move to sucking the nutrients out of your roots, and that's usually by the larvae, as well as they will go ahead and actually chew through your roots when they don't have any of their preferred food source. So some ways you want to go ahead and prevent the adults from laying eggs into your soil would be to either layer some materials on top of your plant soils, like a top dressing such as sand. You can use diatomaceous earth. You can also use cinnamon. If you use cinnamon, cinnamon is known to be a fungal fighter, so that goes back to that fungal growth. So a lot of people do use cinnamon in their soils, as well as you can also use pumice rocks. And a lot of people use pumice rocks because as the fungus gnat tries to get into the soil and burrow their way down in the soil, the fungus gnats will actually rip the body of the insect apart, preventing them from getting further into the soil and laying their eggs. So some things you want to use to eliminate the eggs in the larvae would be to use a hydrogen peroxide and water mix. Or you can either spray this into the soil, or you can use a soak. You can use a neem oil soak, and you can also use mosquito bits. And I actually used mosquito bits in the past. I did like using mosquito bits. However, I found that going by the directions, when they tell you just to sprinkle the mosquito bits on top of the soil, that it actually developed some fungus on top of the soil. What I did in the past was I actually put the mosquito bits in my watering can, and I filled up with water and let them soak and let them decay a little bit, and then I sprayed it, I poured it into the soil. I liked that method of using the mosquito bits a lot better. Now, just to note that these methods won't fix your problem long term. They will go ahead and eliminate and decrease the amount of eggs and larvae in your collection. You can see that most of these methods are soak methods or allow your soil to be more moist. So you can see where there's still the issue of the fungus gnats preferring to lay in the rich soil. Just because you eliminate or you use this method doesn't mean that it's going to fix the entire problem, because then you still want to go ahead and attack the adults and actually prevent them from laying them all together. Some ways to eliminate the adults would be to use some sticky traps, and with the sticky traps, they are yellow traps. The fungus gnats are attracted to the color yellow, so they will go ahead and fly into the sticky trap. Now, some people might say that this method's a little unsightly to have all those yellow tabs all over their plant collection. So you can also use sweet wines. Now, you might not want to give up your good sweet wine, but this is another method that you can use. They are attracted to the sweet tasting wine and will go ahead and drown in it, once they land in it. Or if you have apple cider vinegar, you can use apple cider vinegar as well. It'll do the same thing as the wine, and you can trap them in the cups or glasses or whatever you use. And I just have to note that with this method, you also won't just disrupt the entire process of the fungus gnat, but by using the methods to kill the larvae and the adult, you can go ahead and disrupt the entire cycle, making it better, making it a good way to combat the fungus gnat. So you have to attack the larvae and the eggs as well as the adults. So that's why you want to use both methods to go ahead and eliminate the problem. But what I like to do, and what actually helped me to eliminate fungus gnats from my collection, was to actually change the way I make my soil mixes. Now, before, I used to use soil mixes that had like bark and pumice rock and all these different amendments, but I found that when you actually add more amendments that will dry out your soil, that is what will eliminate your fungus gnat problem. So I like to use a lot more perlite than most people do. And when you add more perlite, it will turn your soil into a more dry medium. So when you go ahead and water your collection, it won't stay as moist as it would if you didn't have as much perlite. And so this would be good for people who use Miracle-Gro or use more moist soils. You just want to add more perlite, or you can use pumice rock. I like to use perlite because it's more readily available and it's cheaper. So if you add more perlite, you can go ahead and make it drier, so that way the fungus gnat won't want to lay their eggs into your soil, because like we said in the beginning, fungus gnats are attracted to a moist or damp soil. So if you eliminate the problem altogether by go ahead and making your soil drier, you can eliminate most of your headache right out the gate. The next thing you want to do is you really want to hone in on your watering routine and the way you water your plants. And you can check out my watering video, which I just put up, which was the video before. But when you make sure you have your watering down packed and you're not over watering your plants or keeping your plant moist, that is when you will really see the difference in your fungus gnats. So just make sure you're using your moisture meter, you're not overwatering your plants, and making sure that you go ahead and let your soils dry out in between waterings. So with these two methods of making my soil drier and making sure I have my watering down packed, I eliminate fungus gnats from my collection altogether. So I hope that helps you guys with your fungus gnat issues. I've seen that a lot of people are having fungus gnat issues, especially on Facebook. I've seen it in a couple of Facebook groups. But by using these methods and working on the basics of your watering and your soil mixture, you can go ahead and eliminate fungus gnats entirely from your collection. So leave a comment in the comment section if you had problems with fungus gnats or what you use to deter your fungus gnats. I really would be interested to know. If you have any other questions, leave them in the comment section as well. But please like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so that way you know every time I upload a video. And we will see you in the next one. Bye.